everybody, and thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. Annette Feravich, and I am with Healthy Mind, Body, Spirit. And you can find me, of course, on the internet at www.healthymindbodyspirit.net. Today, what I am doing for my show is I have finished my series on love and sex in the 21st century. As you know, it takes me just a little while to get those videos edited. Here's the thing. What's the advantage of seeing me live? The advantage of seeing me live is you can get the information firsthand and you don't have to wait for the edited videos. You can also ask me questions if you want to live in the chat. But either way, thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me live or whether you are joining me on YouTube. You can find me, Dr. Annette Feravich, on my YouTube channel, or maybe you are watching this through LinkedIn. And so thank you anyway, however you decide to watch me. I appreciate you coming here and visiting with me. So today, that's what we're going to be doing, is we're just going to be taking a little bit of time to see what is coming up and why you might really want to join me on our show live, okay? So first of all, I want to tell you about our new series. So my new series is going to start Sunday, October 17th. And the new series is Depression and Behavior. So what are we looking at? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take an in-depth look at depression, some of the statistics that we have for depression, and also what are some of the behavioral things that we can do in order to help lift us out of depression. All right, I'm also going to be talking to you about reward centers of the brain and how important they are, and I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about pharmaceuticals, antidepressants, and anxiety as well, so that we can take a look at what do those pharmaceuticals do to our brains. Yes, right. And also then take a look at if I am able to engage in behaviors, can those behaviors by themselves help lift me out of depression? Okay, so that is our next major series, Depression and Behavior. All right, so when you join me Sunday, October 17th, we will be talking about what is depression. And so let's just take a look at right now a couple statistics that we know about depression. First of all, about 40 years ago, the average age of the onset of depression was 29.5 years of age. Approximately 30 years of age was when individuals were the first time that they were experiencing depression. And a lot of times we can also say that these experiences were more exclusive to women who were stay-at-home mothers, okay? So we more often saw depression from this group. Now, as you can see, we see great increases in depression like we haven't seen before. So now the onset of depression is approximately 14.5 years of age. And now with COVID, we have seen great increases in depression like we haven't seen before. Approximately 1 in 5 individuals, or almost 20% of individuals, are experiencing different forms of depression. And we see a number of individuals who are suffering from anxiety and increases in anxiety along with this pandemic as well. And so that's what we want to talk about in the weeks to come. How can we adapt through behaviors so that we can alleviate some of the depression and along with that alleviate some of our anxiety. But let me now give you the topics that I plan to discuss for the next month and a half or so. Okay, so October 17th is when we are going to start. So next week we're starting our new series, Depression and Behavior, and our first topic is going to be what is depression. So that's going to be an introduction on October 17th to our new series, and we're going to be talking about what is depression exactly. Then the next Sunday, don't forget we meet here every Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So the following Sunday on October 24th, we're going to talk about behavior and depression. And so in this presentation, what I want to talk to you about then is just showing you how different types of behavior can lead you down a road of depression very quickly. So we're going to talk about some of our thoughts that can be chronically accessible. And then we're also going to be talking about other things like rumination and thought patterns that then keep you in this cycle of negative thinking. All right? So that's going to be on October 24th. We're going to be looking more directly at depression and behavior, and a lot of it is going to be what's going on in our mind as far as thought processes go. So that is going to be October 24th that we're going to be talking about that, depression and behavior, and more that what the behavior does to our bodies. All right? Then on Halloween, October 31st, we're going to be talking about antidepressants. So we're going to be dedicating that entire time to looking at the different types of antidepressants that are out there and also seeing what they do to your brain. There isn't a healthcare industry in the world that understands your body makeup or your health better than you do. And so what we're going to be trying to do is have a better understanding of the way our chemistry works in our body, so that when we are taking things like antidepressants, we know how it's affecting the chemistry in our body. And so that hopefully we can make sure that it's affecting the chemistry in our body in positive ways. So that is Halloween, October 31st. We're going to be talking about specifically antidepressants. Then the following Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Dr. Annette Feravich. We will be talking about loneliness and health. What we know about loneliness is that we have an epidemic of loneliness worldwide. And we also know, which is very interesting, that older individuals suffer greater levels of loneliness, but apparently not greater levels of depression. And so what that suggests is that older individuals have learned coping skills that younger individuals simply do not know. And when we take a look at that, then how much is that going to begin to lead our younger generation into feelings of loneliness and suicidal ideations earlier in their lives, if these events in their lives are resulting in greater levels of depression and anxiety? So we want to see how we can take a look at the events in our lives that lead us down pathways of depression and anxiety, so that we could learn how to cope with them better, so that as we get older, they're not impacting our lives as greatly. All right, so that is November 7th. We're going to be looking at loneliness and health. On November 14th, the following Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be looking at anxiety and depression. We know that there is a great relationship between anxiety and depression. And in fact, what research showed us is that the greater our levels of anxiety, the more likely we are to experience depression. A lot of times what anxiety produces is a feeling of helplessness, that there is nothing that I can do to get out of this. Right? So again, anxiety leads individuals to a feeling of hopelessness, which means that very often they feel helpless and they give up. When we give up, that's when depression ensues. So that the earlier that we begin to reduce our anxiety, the less likely we are to feel those feelings of depression. That is November 14th. On November 21st, so this is the Sunday at 4 o'clock before Thanksgiving, I'm going to have a special Thanksgiving presentation. One of the things that we know is that when we are thankful, that this very often alleviates feelings of depression, and it also alleviates feelings of anxiety. And what it does is it reduces the pressure that we have to perform. And that's a pretty big deal. If I can reduce the pressure that I have to perform. And again, what does that? What does that is when I'm grateful for where I am right now. And so, November 21st, join me at 4 p.m. for a special Thanksgiving presentation where I talk about what it means to be thankful and what things like Thanksgiving and gratitude do for both our mental and our physical health. Okay, so that is November 21st, before Thanksgiving. And then the Sunday after Thanksgiving on November 28th is I want to talk about the holidays and preventing depression during the holidays. And that's where I'll wrap up my depression series, unless, of course, you know how I stick something in there. Right now, what I did was I laid out for you our next series on depression and behavior starting Sunday at 4 p.m. And we will run this series through to the Sunday after Thanksgiving, November 28th. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, please like my videos. Please subscribe to my videos because I really think that I am trying to get the good word out, in particular to young people, right? About being healthier, about being more motivated, about being more engaged in life. And I really want, through these videos, to help make a difference in the way that people are feeling and not just pretend, right? I don't want to just pretend that we all feel better. What I would like to do is really notice the difference, just like we've noticed the difference from this virus and the toll it's taken on both our mental and physical health. I want to notice the difference as well when we take positive steps to move in a different direction, so that these kinds of negative feelings are not taking control over our lives. This is Dr. Annette Feravich with Healthy Mind, Body, Spirit, and I am here ready to make a second series on depression and behavior. So please join me for the first in my series, and have a great Sunday.